Don't you wish you could have been a part of AMD's stock price skyrocketing over the recent weeks? If you follow Money Vehicle's guidance, you just might. Jedediah Collins here with the Money Vehicle Movement podcast, where we're trying to make financial literacy more current and possibly even a little cooler. Today, we're talking about a recent surge in AMD stock price. You know, that chip company that's been making waves in the AI world, and how investing in an index fund like the S&P 500 helps you participate in this growth while reducing your risk in the investment world. Here's the scoop. AMD stands for Advanced Micro Devices. Seems like something that's going to be pretty popular in the future. AMD saw its shares jump over 23% in a single day. Now, I am an advocate of saying if anybody gives you 20% in a single day, that's a gamble. This is an investment and something materially has changed. AMD announced a huge deal with OpenAI, the powerhouse behind ChatGPT and other AI innovations. AMD will supply OpenAI with over 6 gigawatts of GPUs across several years, starting with its new MI450 chip in 2026. What all of that means to you and me, the novice here in the AI world, is that AMD is going to supply the chips to go and create whatever else ChatGPT does today and in the near future. And there's more. OpenAI will also take a stake in AMD, possibly owning around 10% of the company. They are taking stock, which makes them a partner and a part owner investor. As AMD hits these milestones, they can earn and own up to 10% of the company. So why a 20% jump in stock price? Well, not only A, do they have a great production over the recent and near future, but B, their stock is actually being bought by the producer that they are going to be helping. This leads to why the massive jump in stock price. This is a game changer for AMD. Not only does it open up potential billions in revenue, but it solidifies AMD's position in the booming AI infrastructure market. Meanwhile, competitor Nvidia has also invested heavily in AI, fueling an intense race for AI dominance. How does this affect AMD's stock? Well, after the announcement, AMD's share price, of course, soared, making it one of the hottest stocks in the AI chip race. Analysts upgraded their outlooks, with some now calling AMD a, quote, strong buy. Seeing it more closely challenged Nvidia's lead in AI hardware. As we've seen the last 2 years, Nvidia has become a billions of trillions of dollar company, and now AMD is, well, biting at their heels. Here's the key point for you, whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting out with your first investment. AMD's stock is rising because of an innovative deal and growth potential in an exciting new industry. Yet stocks like AMD, especially in a competitive, rapidly evolving market, can be volatile and prone to swings. You need to have risk to have reward. Here is why investing in the index fund, like the S&P, matters to you and I. Let's connect this to the broader investment strategy: be average, use an index. Instead of trying to pick individual winners like AMD or Nvidia and risking being caught in a downturn, again, a single company makes a single announcement that is not as exciting as this one, the stock price can drop and go the other way. But consider investing in an index, maybe 500 companies, and you will get both the benefit as well as the reduction. That's why we call it a free lunch. Here's why. When AMD stock rises because of recent news, you automatically participate in that growth if you own the S&P 500. AMD is included among the 500 companies on the S&P because they are one of the largest companies in the United States, so you will get a piece of that success. AMD's price rose, you win. If AMD's stock dips due to a setback, a slowdown, or just an industry-wide issue, your risk will be cushioned Because you're diversified across the entire index, which spreads out your potential losses among those 500 companies. It's like riding the wave of the entire industry's growth rather than betting on a single stock. This diversification helps reduce the risk of significant loss in your portfolio, something critical for your long-term financial health. Why people call diversification investing's free lunch is you participate in the up and cushion that down. The takeaway: this recent boost in AMD stock reflects how innovation, especially in AI industry right now, can create big opportunities, but also comes with volatility. Anything that goes up 20% in a day has risks that can go the other way as well. Investing in a broad index fund like the S&P lets you get on the growth of industry leaders like AMD, Nvidia, Tesla, Apple, Google, Meta, you name it, while protecting you from the downside if one company falters. Remember, your goal is to participate in the growth of the economy, not necessarily chase every hot stock tip. You and I do not know what the next AMD is, or if AMD is going to keep going up or crash altogether. We don't know, which is why we use an index. Diversification can be an investor's best friend. It doesn't create wealth overnight, but it will over time. Thanks for tuning in to the Money Vehicle Movement. We will see you at the next stop.